made a draw. How about the candidate? Okay, that's the position. I'm not sure.
Still a very close position.
Yeah, everything is blocked.
What happened on e5 was what you said. They would exchange on e5, d5, passed pawn. That is protected passed pawn.
Yeah, that was a curious moment. Look, after exchange on e5, White played b3, and after knight d7, changed his mind and played b4, blocking everything over there. And that's the resulting position. And as I see from a notation, there haven't been a pawn move for like last 10 moves. So black prepares to go for g5, g4 under the most favorable circumstances. So it's clear that it's black who is playing.
What do you think this will be? King e2? But I thought the king was on e2 already.
So it's already, something has happened. King f2 probably,
yeah,
rook to
g8,
rook to g8. Right, and the king went back to e2.
Yeah, White is just waiting to see what black does.
Black went king b7 to control an a file, so that he will take on a1, swap one pair of rooks, and then the other will not be needed to cover an a file. So it's hard to tell, really. I think, well, White can't do anything, right? Knight cannot be activated. The bishop is really stupid.
No, it's a very passive position, but they are...
Yeah, I think the problem...
They have exchanged the... No,
yeah,
they exchanged the rooks, but not.
Yeah, a lot of stuff changed. So Karjakin did kind of threaten to play g4, and now everything went back. So now the king is on e7. Probably it's a draw, objectively. So if he doesn't find a way to make g5, g4 happen, then it's just a draw.
But he can try forever. This is the kind of position you can go back and forth.
Yeah, that's precisely the kind of position you don't want to have against Sergey Karjakin.
He already played his knight on d6. That's the spot that we thought he would never get there. There he is.
So rook c1, knight went to d6.
Now knight c8. Maneuvering with the knight around.
Well,
he can go to b6 and then a4. I still don't see why would that be so good, but he can try anything. This is
you bring the knight to a4, then you double on a5, but
maybe
White obviously will move the king and play bishop d1, king f2. That's what he does.
With only one weakness, this c3 pawn, this should be a draw. But this is a rapid game with a few minutes on the clock. He has to be defending.
Well, knight lands on b6, so now White's gonna play bishop d1. Right.
Yes, I think we will soon have an interview with one of the heroes of the round.
Okay, let's... what do we have? We still have Karjakin here. It can last forever, right?
Yes, this is going to be a long game.
We can check if Nepomniachtchi eventually won.
But...
wait a second, it's still going, it seems. It's still going. It's somewhat stuck, to be honest, this one. So unless we have a camera view on this.
Oh, we don't have the position.
Yeah, that's the final position we have, and it is... well, now it popped up, huh? White is winning.
Yeah.
I assume.
Oh, what is the king doing on d3?
Must be a mate somewhere here.
Yeah, so we see Karjakin on the camera, and the diagram is from Nepomniachtchi's game. And we will soon have an interview with the Indian grandmaster who drew against Magnus Carlsen.
All right. So, yeah, well, strangely enough, well, Karjakin's game, unless Karjakin goes g5, g4, I don't think anything exciting will happen, so they will continue hovering around with the pieces. In Nepo's game, I must say this king on g2 at least gives black a glimpse of hope, because, you know, if queens are getting exchanged, then you do like this king to be active.
True, but can he survive with the king on g2?
Yeah, strangely enough, he didn't take on g3, so that was apparently a forced mate. After king takes g3, it would have been knight e4 check, I assume, and with knight and queen attacking the king, it would be too much, apparently. I mean, few checks and somehow it has to be a mate on g3.
And we will have a short interview with the star of the round, the one who almost...
Okay, thank you very much, and we are back to our first round. We are back to Karjakin's game, I believe. Meanwhile, I found this current position on our diagrammed board, right on our analysis board. It's a game between Simon Agdestein, who used to be a trainer of Magnus Carlsen, and world blitz champion, current world blitz champion Alexander Grishuk. Alexander won this game with black. All right, so...
And this is... We still see Sergey Karjakin trying to beat the Swedish Grandmaster Grandelius. This is... Well, they have exchanged rooks on a4, so the game is progressing. We thought he could play this forever, go back and forth, trying to improve the position. Now, rook a1, rook a8, so this a4 pass pawn is the factor that black wants to build on. Knight d2, bringing back the knight perhaps towards a3, but it might not be
knight was not
necessary.
On d2. No, knight it was on d2, so king e1 was the last move.
Sorry, I did not see correctly the move. Yeah, the knight on d2 is perfectly fine, attacking the c4 pawn. The only thing is that this f3 bishop is always passive. It's like a huge pawn on f3. The knight goes to
b5 was played.
So black is making progress. The c3 pawn is still weak.
Threatening to take on c3. And for a bit, I was thinking knight b1, a3, rook a2, which is an awkward way, but you somehow stop black.
Looks passive. What he did was capturing the pawn on c4, so they exchange a pair of pawns. Knight takes c4, knight c3.
Knight b6.
Yeah,
knight
going
c3,
for
knight
active
b6.
play. Actually,
I'm planning a check on d7 and then to take the pawn if allowed. Right, so rook a7. So at least
has to be played.
White activates it a little bit. The stuff he has. Bishop to g4 might be a possibility, in fact. Even though it feels like White is playing this fire. I mean, a pawn is still there alive. What did he do? d6. Yeah, d6. He wants to play d7, apparently. d7, and if king comes to e7, it will be fork from c8. For instance,
suddenly,
in this line. This, and d7. And then it's White who wins, because the only way to stop the pawn is to go here, and then it's a fork.
He played bishop e8?
Bishop e8.
Yes.
Right, but then
to
you
prevent
allow,
d7.
Yeah, probably you allow king d2. Is that right?
He played something else. What was the
White did play something else. Bishop g4. Renewing a threat of d7.
d7.
So this
he's
d
playing
pawn.
For a win already.
Yeah, this d pawn is very dangerous. This d pawn is very, very dangerous.
And it's on d7 already. He
a3 played, d7, bishop takes, knight takes. So it's not only the world champion, but the candidate is also in trouble now.
Exactly. The trending topic is to lose a piece and then save it.
Yeah, so Karjakin is a piece down now. All of a sudden, he was the one pushing for a win for the last 30 moves at least.
He missed something. He definitely missed something when he played knight b5 and also this rook a4 going for this position.
Oh, what's interesting, I moved knight e5 on my analysis board, but the actual move in the game was knight c5, keeping the knight closer to the passed pawn and controlling the pawn on e4.
But black achieved was getting his pawn to a2, so the rook cannot move away from a1.
Yeah, but now the king comes.
Yeah.
Now the king comes. That's why he wanted e4 to be protected.
Knight c5 is a very smart move.
Rook a3. And, well, it won't be easy, particularly against Karjakin, once again.
we've
seen people not winning, much more winning positions, if I can say so.
We have seen a few of them.
Right, so, well, but, you know, honestly, with this bishop, we were blaming the bishop for being passive on f3, and now you might as well return it to f3 so it cements the king side completely. So the key, this is probably what he's gonna do. Knight went to b5, king b2, rook g3, and now you can play bishop f3, even though then black probably goes for a breakthrough.
Does it work?
I don't know. I mean, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, you should. If not, your rook is trapped, of course.
Okay, rook g3. White simply took over there. Rook g2 and king b3. White is winning.
Yes, once again a piece up, but we should see till the end, because we have seen in other games that piece up is still a game that you have to win.
f3 played. So with a little trick that if bishop takes, it's knight d4, of course. King, you have to activate the king, right? King c4, no.
Rook f1,
rook f1
you want to capture the pawn. f2 could be possible, but then knight d3. and that pawn will drop.
Yeah, and I think, well, the important factor is that white has the B pawn, so white will push the passed pawn of his own.
Now this is once again lost. We have seen all the favorites, but not all the favorites, but many favorites.
Having troubles, yeah.
Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, Sergey Karjakin, all in trouble in round 1 of the event.
So that will be a lot of excitement, a lot of unexpected results, I think, yeah.
Exactly. By the way, you can tweet us, you can post on Instagram, on Facebook and Twitter using the hashtag DohaChess2016, and we will try to catch up with you. I have my phone here and I will have a look right now at the social media if there are any tweets to us, any questions, any opinions. I see that Tarjei Svensson tweeted that Carlsen last played Ganguly in 2004 when he was 13. He won and he made his final GM norm in Dubai by beating Ganguly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, the game is over. The game, Sergey Karjakin, I believe, did not manage to save this game.
So F2 was, those are the final moves. Rook F1, knight D4 check. F2 and knight E6, and Karjakin decided there can't be any fortresses, and once again just look at this light square bishop blocking the possible passed pawns.
The bishop that used to be so bad.
Absolutely shocking result one more time.
Yes.
It's not that Nils Grandelius cannot win against Sergey Karjakin, but from that position when
Sergey was pushing the whole time.
And once again, just look, I mean, white has no possibility to open up the position whatsoever. I mean, no pawn moves at all.
No, he was just waiting, and Sergey pushed too hard. Perhaps this rook a4 plan and then knight b5 was not good enough, because knight c4, white could get an active position, and suddenly the d5 passed pawn was a factor.
For instance, he could still play bishop e8 or something. Yeah, so knight b5 was probably way too risky. Okay, we still have Nepomniachtchi playing.
That's